David.
Is that right?
How are you doing?
Very, very good.
Good, thank you. Everything's great. Cold outside.
Yeah. Well, yesterday was -17, today's -4, so
Okay.
+4 actually.
Oh, +4. Okay.
Yeah.
Lots of snow here in Canada where we are.
Yep, Montreal.
Montreal. Perfect. So the reason I connected with you today is because you have been a previous client of mine for my naturopathic consultations. You have been an amazing client, I have to say, because I love working with clients like you who are super dedicated to making the changes, who are ready to making the changes, and you really dedicated yourself, I would say 100%, to changing things over. And we know that this is not always so easy to do. I mean, changing your diet, your lifestyle, your habits, the way you think about everything going in, it's not always the easiest thing to do. Mm-hmm. But you've really been an exemplary model of someone who's changed things over. Seriously, I'm saying this from 100% honesty because I've had many clients who haven't done this and then who haven't seen the results. So,
well, you'll hear soon what my symptoms were like, so I had to do something, that's for sure.
Yeah, amazing. So why don't we get into a little bit about sort of when you came to see me, before you came to see me, how long before, what were things like for you, and what were your sort of chief health complaints that you decided to consult a naturopath for?
Right, so it started 5 or 6 years ago already, before I was married. I was studying and I started feeling very weak. I went to doctors to check if it was general things, diabetes, different things. No one's really able to. And it kind of just got worse and worse. Anything I ate, I felt I had to lie down afterward. I had trouble going to the bathroom. I had trouble focusing on my studies. I was just really tired. I used to do a lot of exercise, running, hiking, biking, and I just couldn't do any of that. I still had to do some exercise. I had to switch to weightlifting, which was like the only thing I could do in my mellow, knocked out state. It was mainly after eating, so it kind of made me kind of hate the fact that I have to eat, and at the same time, if I don't eat, I feel really weak, and if I do eat, then I feel like I have to lie down. There were stomach aches. It was mainly fatigue. It was like a lot of fatigue. Whatever I ate, whenever I ate, I felt like food was an enemy. Before I, finally started looking to get some help.
Okay. And had you tried anything before we met to try to address these symptoms and health concerns? I mean, over the past 6 years.
Yeah, I've tried some elimination diets. Dairy-free, gluten-free, you name it, light on the protein, heavy on the fat. Had a time, had a time where I was dipping bread in olive oil, and just that was like the food that I was eating, and it was just everything that felt very wrong. I tried this blood test that kind of tells you what you're reacting to. It helped a little bit, but every time I kind of fell back into an old pattern of just, I'm not feeling well, I'm not going to be able to eat anything. And that's when I always started looking for something more, substantial, like a complete life change.
Okay.
Life change, yeah.
And so in this suffering, over the past 6 years and the digestive system suffering, you're saying that it was affecting different aspects of your life. Like, what would you say was the most impacted?
So before I was married, I was studying pretty much full time, certain days, 12 hours a day.
Wow.
And I really remember, I used to start class at 7:30 in the morning, and I remember exactly when it was in the beginning of the winter when I was 20 that I went to the person in charge and I said, I'm not gonna be able to be here at 7:30 anymore. I'm so fatigued in the morning, I'm gonna need some time. And then I remember in the afternoons telling him, I know we start the class at 2. I'll be here sometimes at 2, but it really just depends on how I feel. At home, I didn't feel like going out. I didn't feel like going to, I loved eating out in restaurants, but I knew if I'm going to a restaurant, I have to know that I'm not going to feel well afterward. And I kind of gave in most of the time. I was like, I'm not feeling well anyway. If I don't eat, I'm not going to feel well, so I might as well just enjoy myself and not feel well. Then after I got married, started affecting business that I was building, the relationship at home. We were very outdoorsy. We were like going on walks, and part of this nice mountain here in Montreal. And it was tough. I really felt like I was dragging my feet sometimes. Sometimes I felt okay, but it just was unpredictable. It really just depended on how I was feeling. Like I wasn't feeling well. I was feeling like not well, with some days where I was feeling better. So I was functioning. It's not that I wasn't functioning. I was continuing my studies, but everything was kind of had to be second guessed. Like, am I going to feel well enough? What am I going to eat? Everything was like confused. I didn't know how to go throughout the day.
Okay. So then we did work together, and we put together sort of a comprehensive program for you, including recipes and supplements and lifestyle recommendations. And so you went ahead and implemented this program. You did it very well. Your wife was on board. You guys were, during our consultations, your wife was on the line with us, and you guys were really committed and dedicated to this process for your health and for your family's health as well. And so what did you experience after you implemented the program that we put together for you?
So right away I felt a lot lighter. One of my main issues was like a fatigue, like feeling really heavy. And the recipe that you gave me included a lot of like soft foods, like juices. I bought a professional juicer to juice fruits and vegetables, shakes, smoothies, different puddings, and a lot of things like chia seeds, like really things which were like very easy on the stomach. I started right away, within the first 2-3 days, I right away felt better. It kind of helped me realize that if I do stick to a program, if I do really watch what I eat, I'm going to feel better. So that was the first step, to realize that even though it's been so many years and so many different things which I missed out on, I still have like a direction. I have a hope of feeling better if I really commit to it. So I did it for about 2 weeks, and then we spoke again, and we added some more recipes. And I kind of plateaued. Like I was feeling pretty good, but not 100%. But I was so much more confident that now that we started something, I'll be able to. So actually, right now, I added FODMAP onto the thing, because FODMAP was already very much along the lines of what you had given me. And FODMAP, I'm not sure if it's the right thing for me. It's for a lot of people it works right away. For me, it's already been 3 solid weeks on it, and I still I have like 4 smoothies a day and only 1 solid meal, like, because I just feel better. So I know that there's still a lot of room to do. But ever since I started, I was able to beat my sugar addiction. That was one of the main things which was holding me back, because I know that sugar was one of the main things which was bad for me. And since I realized that if I stay off it, I'll feel well, I started cooking my own food. And once you're on FODMAP, also you can't like eat out of restaurants or eat at other people's houses, which is where all the problems happen. So it helped me like cook my own food. And now if I go to someone's house, I know what to ask for. If I go to a restaurant, I know what I can eat, what I can't. And food, instead of becoming an enemy and always having to watch my back from it, it kind of became like, oh, there's so many things I can eat. Let me find out good recipes to prepare them. Let me eat them in a way which will make me feel good as well as enjoy the food. So that has been life-changing. And with that came working out. I don't know, I went back to running, which I used to be in love with. Like, people are addicted to sugar. I was addicted to running.
Wow.
I was not able to run for 5 years. My stomach would tense up, and just the other day I ran like 2 miles, which for me was like huge. It was like just half hour on a treadmill just moving. Yesterday I ran home from work in minus 12 degrees, and I just felt so, and that's really been life-changing. At work I can focus more. Everything has gone better from there.
Incredible. So whereas before you had to lie on the couch after meals, do you need to do that anymore?
Almost never. It could happen. Like I said, I'm definitely in the middle. If it's a heavy meal, if it's a restaurant meal, there's always things which sneak in which you can't really control.
Yes.
but it's a whole nother world. It's like I come home, I have to lie down because I just went to a restaurant, fine. But tomorrow I'm just going right back in the routine, and life moves on. Like I'm willing to pay that price once in a while, but I'm in control versus being so addicted to sugar that I come home and have a cake or cookie, and then I have to lie down for a couple hours.
Great. So really what I'm hearing from you is that you feel so much more empowered. You have direction. You know what to prepare when you're preparing your meals, so you know what foods are going to set you off and trigger you. And then as opposed to that, you know which foods are going to be beneficial and help your digestive system. And then hopefully you'll be able to, once your digestive system is solid and strong enough, you'll be able to add more solid meals into your life. That's really the hope. Mm-hmm. And you feel more energized. You're able to go out and run, whereas before you had to lie on a couch.
It's a virtuous cycle. You go for a half-hour run, you come back, you feel, light. When I eat after a run, it's like I'm 15 again before all this started. And you just eat, you feel well with the food, you feel energized from the food instead of the food draining your energy. A whole nother experience.
Incredible. So you have more vitality, more energy. And how would you say your family has reacted to that? I know you have young children who you're probably running after, and your wife, of course, definitely noticed, what was going on with you. And how would you say they would describe what has happened?
So part of what's been really huge about it is I have very young children, 18 months and 8 months. Okay. So you're waking up at night. Nighttime was very hard for me because when I used to eat at night, for some people the digestion doesn't work so well at night. I'm definitely one of them. Mm. So at night, I really felt very heavy. And then you hear your baby crying, and you want to go and comfort, and you feel so unwell. And I was just lying down in bed, and that's like double painful. Like on the one hand, you're not feeling well, and you're not able to help your children feel better, and that's been huge recently. I've been able to jump out of bed at 6 o'clock and feel well and go to the kids and take care of them. And I do some stretches in the morning, with my kid running around. And it's really good in the morning. And I remember feeling so guilty. If I eat now, I'm not going to be able to play with my kid.
Wow.
I'm going to have to sit down. It was such a catch-22. My whole life was not always, but every meal was should I eat? If I don't eat, I have to eat. And if I do, I'll have to lie down. So that's been huge. And my wife has been super supportive the whole time. She's cooking. FODMAP is no onion, no garlic, all these random foods you have to cut out.
Yes.
And she's 100% on board. That really helps. And
amazing.
She's been thanking me for waking up in the morning. So.
Yes. So you're helping each other.
Yeah.
That is so heartwarming. Really, truly, it's so amazing. Because the biggest thing we want in life is, to be there for our children. And when we can't be, that is so challenging. So that's so beautiful. I'm so happy that you've had such wonderful progress. It's been an amazing journey to work with you. And I know we'll continue working together.
Looking forward. Yeah, I have to thank you so much for just working with me, taking my calls, my emails, the whole food plan, the recipes. It really just helped me focus and change my whole relationship with food and my whole relationship with feeling well, and definitely just looking forward to improving more. There's definitely more to do.
Always. It's a lifelong journey.
Yeah.
Taking care of ourselves for sure. So thank you so much, David. I really appreciate it, and we'll be in touch for sure.
Pleasure. Yeah, definitely looking forward.
Take care.
Sign out now.
Thanks. Bye.